So I came across a post today on Instagram. A guy was showing Elon Musk took a flight from San Francisco to San Jose. It's a 9 minute flight. And, he was just showing, wastefulness or whatever. And I thought about something I've talked about on here before, which is how um, this idea that individuals have some type of power over climate change is faulty at best. It's a faulty notion. It's a false notion at that. Um, this idea that people have any type of decision or choice in our environment, it's a corporate thing they've done over the last 20, 30 years to, not so much say no pollution exists or isn't real, but to say, well, if you just recycle and don't waste water and, don't pour engine oil out in the storm drains and all the things that most people already know about, I remember going to some type of thing when I was a kid, when I was like 11 or 10, I think, and they were talking about like saving water and like like if you have water hose, it just like goes into a bucket. I guess like stuff gets sucked back into the water system if like debris and stuff. This is all bullshit, and I've come to see it's all bullshit. And what's worse, it's disempowering because when you're beating people over the head about plastic straws and flights to Hawaii and stuff like that, when people figure this out, it makes people say, "What's the point?" And I remember hearing about like some type of a climate thing years ago where Leonardo DiCaprio went to, other folks went to, and conservatives were saying like, "Oh yeah, they care about the environment, but they all flew out here and stuff," and they had a point. I mean that's a legitimate point that they made there. That I've talked about on the left. I don't like this, just beating people over the head because they're right wingers. They made a point. Now for me, I think that it's too late. And you already kind of see it with that bill the Republicans passed when Trump was in office. China, they were funding a study of how to harden military bases. And we know what the U.S. military's job is to keep the natural resources going for these multinational corporations. That's the job of the military. When you have somebody in Guatemala, someone wants to nationalize their resources, well, we're going to war with them. That's what the U.S. military does. We're gonna make sure that you notice your country can't stand in the way of what these corporations do. You know, it's to me looking at the climate change debate is almost like we're just the good people in here. We're like Dr. King. Dr. King, there was a limited amount of things he could do at that time. He couldn't go to war with the police, war with the white supremacist, power at that time. He could only protest, and he got beaten, and a lot of folks got beaten, and some people were killed back then to get out the message, and Dr. King did a lot. He only do so much. Now we have statues to him. Now we remember him for his dedication and for his sacrifice. I think that, let me say this, on the left, some of these issues on climate change and all that, and like this Amazon union stuff, all we're doing is buying time. Even when you have victories, I don't look at them as victory. We're just buying time. We're just buying time till climate change gets really bad. We're just buying time till the next world war starts. We're just buying time until the robots, the AI gets more advanced. The automation, really kicks in. We're just buying time to that, and then you're gonna see a lot of businesses, corporations, not need people anymore. I support what they're doing, but I recognize it's too late. It's too late. Going back to my earlier point, I'm ending on this. Um, when you look at Elon Musk flying a plane for 9 minutes, and I remember Hillary Clinton did something like that years ago, when people made a really big deal about it back then, and it was a legitimate point. Her flying like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, something like that. These are our elites. and they're going to do what they want to do, and these people put out more pollution in a week or a month than some people put out an entire lifetime or in a couple of decades. And the realization of that is the realization that climate change is an issue that goes far beyond national borders, state borders, local borders. This is an issue of uh, the ruling class and the way in which they rule our country and our world. I don't know. Like I said, I don't like to just beat people over the head about climate change and all that because it's disempowering and because most people can't do anything about it. Thank you for listening.